Let me ask you something. Have you ever loved someone so much that you forgot to love yourself? Have you ever given so many chances that you lost count somewhere around forgiveness number 7? Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered when you became the kind of person who accepts the unacceptable, who tolerates the intolerable, who stays in rooms where the air itself is made of broken promises? If you have, then you already know the weight of the loyalty code. You feel it in your chest right now, that ancient, aching thing. Part honor, part curse, part love letter to your own destruction. The loyalty code isn't something you learn from a book. It's something you inherit, like brown eyes or a crooked smile, or the way you laugh when you're nervous. You inherit it from the people who raised you, from the people who loved you imperfectly, from the people who taught you, without ever saying it out loud, that love means staying no matter what. Maybe you watched your mother stay with a man who made her small. Maybe you watched your father bend himself into shapes he was never meant to hold, all for the sake of keeping a family together. Maybe you learned that loyalty was the highest virtue, that leaving meant failure, that love wasn't real unless it hurt a little or a lot. You were taught this language before you had words. Stay, sacrifice, suffer quietly. Don't give up on people. Family is everything. Real love fights through anything. And somewhere in your tiny, trusting heart, you wrote these rules down in permanent marker. You didn't know you were building a cage. Fast forward, you're older now. You've loved, you've lost, you've tried. And somewhere along the way, you found yourself in a relationship that started like poetry and ended up like a prison. But you didn't leave. Even when they lied, even when they cheated, even when they made you feel like you were asking for too much by asking for basic respect, you stayed because the loyalty code whispered in your ear. Don't be the kind of person who gives up. Don't be the one who breaks the promise. Don't abandon them when they need you most. And here's the cruelest part. You thought you were being strong. You thought you were being noble. You thought you were proving that your love was deeper, truer, more resilient than everyone else's shallow, disposable connections. But what you were really doing was slowly erasing yourself, one compromise at a time, one excuse at a time, one "they didn't mean it" at a time, until the person staring back at you in the mirror was someone you barely recognized. Let's talk about why you stay. Not the story you tell your friends, not the version you post online. The real reason. The one that lives in the basement of your heart, where you don't let anyone go. You stay because you believe in potential. You see who they could be, who they were when you first met, who they are on their good days when the light hits them just right and you remember why you fell in love in the first place. You've built an entire relationship with a ghost, the ghost of who they might become if you just love them hard enough. You stay because leaving feels like giving up. And you've never been a quitter. You finish what you start. You don't throw people away like they're disposable. You're not like them, the shallow ones, the selfish ones, the ones who run at the first sign of difficulty. You stay because you've invested so much already. 3 years, 5 years, a decade. You've woven your life into theirs like threads in a tapestry. Disentangling feels impossible. Starting over feels exhausting. The sunk cost fallacy doesn't just apply to business decisions, it applies to love too. You stay because you're afraid of what it means if you leave. If you leave, you have to admit you were wrong, that you wasted time, that you loved someone who didn't love you the same way, that you bet on the wrong person. And that admission feels like standing naked in front of everyone you know and saying, I failed. But here's the thing they don't tell you about the loyalty code. It was never designed to protect you. It was designed to protect them, the ones who hurt you, the ones who take and take and take while you give and give and give until you're running on empty and somehow you still find ways to pour from a cup that's been dry for months. The loyalty code makes you a martyr. And martyrs don't get happy endings in real life. They just get tired.
There comes a moment. It's different for everyone. Maybe it happens all at once, like lightning. Maybe it happens slowly, like dawn. But there comes a moment when you realize this isn't love. This is a hostage situation. Real love doesn't require you to betray yourself. Real love doesn't ask you to set yourself on fire to keep someone else warm. Real love doesn't make you feel like a ghost in your own life. And suddenly, the loyalty code, that thing you thought was your greatest strength, reveals itself for what it really is: a defense mechanism, a coping strategy, a way to control the uncontrollable by staying loyal to people who were never loyal to you. You stayed because you thought it made you strong. But strength isn't staying when you should go. Strength is knowing when to walk away, knowing when to choose yourself, knowing that some ships aren't meant to be saved. They're meant to sink so you can swim to shore. Listen to me carefully. You are not responsible for fixing broken people. You are not responsible for proving that love can conquer all. You are not responsible for staying in rooms that are killing you slowly, quietly, one day at a time. The loyalty code isn't who you are. It's something that was installed in you, like software running in the background of your brain, making decisions without your permission. But here's the beautiful, terrifying truth. You can rewrite it. You can look at that old code, the one that says stay, sacrifice, suffer, and you can say, this doesn't serve me anymore. This isn't my truth. This was never my choice. And then you can write something new. The new code might sound something like this: I am loyal to people who are loyal to me. I stay with people who make me feel safe, seen, and celebrated. I give chances, but not infinite chances. I love deeply, but I love myself first. I am allowed to walk away from anything that costs me my peace. I am not a rehabilitation center for broken people who refuse to heal. Leaving isn't failure. Sometimes leaving is the bravest thing you'll ever do. Say it with me. Leaving isn't failure. Leaving is survival. Here's what happens when you break the loyalty code. At first, you feel guilty. You feel like you've betrayed some sacred promise, like you've let everyone down, like you're selfish, cruel, unforgiving. The old voice in your head, the one programmed by the code, will scream at you to go back, to fix it, to try one more time. Don't listen. That voice is an echo of someone else's fear, someone else's pain, someone else's idea of what love should be. It's not your voice. And then slowly, so slowly you almost don't notice,
something changes. The weight lifts. The air gets lighter. You start to remember who you were before the code took over, before you learned to make yourself small, before you mistook endurance for love. You start to laugh again, real laughs, the kind that come from your belly, not from politeness. You start to sleep better, dream better, breathe better. You start to look in the mirror and recognize the person staring back. And one day, maybe weeks later, maybe months later, maybe years later, you realize you didn't lose anything by leaving. You found yourself. So here's the truth they should have told you from the beginning. Loyalty is beautiful when it's mutual. Sacrifice is noble when it's not one-sided. Love is powerful when it doesn't cost you your soul. But when loyalty becomes a cage, sacrifice becomes self-destruction, and love becomes suffering, it's time to rewrite the code. You were never meant to carry the weight of everyone else's brokenness. You were never meant to prove your worth through endurance. You were never meant to love people who make you feel like loving them is a punishment. The loyalty code taught you to stay, but today, I'm giving you permission to leave, to walk away, to choose yourself, to understand that the most loyal thing you can do is be loyal to the person you see in the mirror. Because that person, that beautiful, exhausted, hopeful person, deserves someone who stays. And if no one else will, you will. You stayed for them. Now, stay for you. If this story found you at the right time, if you felt something shift in your chest while listening, I want you to do something for me. Take a breath, put your hand on your heart, and say this out loud. I am not the loyalty code. I am free to choose myself. Say it until you believe it. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, someone who's been carrying the code like a cross on their back, share this with them. Not to fix them, not to force them, but to remind them they're not alone. They're not crazy. And when they're ready, they can walk away too.